Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, all praise to Śrīla Prabhupada. So we'll start with the prayer, Bhagavatam prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate-Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate-Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate-Vasudevaya. I offer my obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Padirayet. Nashtaprayeshu Abhatreshu Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhagavati Naistike. So, Hare Krishna. Today, Śrīla Prabhu requested that we study Chaitanya Caritāmṛta continuation. So, we'll start with 152. Atati yat bhagavan ahni kananam turtir yugan yute tvam apasyatam kutila kuntalam shri mukham chate jada udikshatam vakshmakrat drasam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai. The gopis said, O Krishna, when you go to the forest during the day and we do not see you, your sweet face, which is surrounded by beautiful curling hair, half a second becomes as long as an entire age for us. And we consider the Creator who has put eyelids on the eyes we use for seeing you to be simply a fool. So as we can see, this verse is spoken by purport, spoken by the gopis in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 31 and Text 15. So here it says here, I'll just read the translation. When you go off to the forest during the day, at any fraction of a second becomes like a millennium for us because we cannot see you. And even when we can eagerly look upon your beautiful face, so lovely with its adornment of curly locks, our pleasure is hindered by our eyelids, which were fashioned by the foolish Creator. So, Hare Krishna. So here, what I understood is, as Śrīla Prabhu already explained this, the gopis have so much love for Lord Krishna, and they cannot bear even a fraction of a second by blinking their, eyes. So even that moment, fraction of a second, they cannot live without seeing Lord Krishna. And here, out of their love and passion, they are even, thinking Lord Brahma did a mistake by, giving the eyelids. So perhaps you would like to add anything?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Actually, this slokas from when gopis they lost Krishna in the Rasulila, and that's the Gopi Git, the 19 verses they spoke. So that's one of the verses from there. So we can see the feelings of the gopis. I mean, we can just get some idea. I think that's my understanding.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Would like to read the next verse, Prabhuji?
Yes, sure. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Śrīla Prabhupada. Text 153. Gopascha Krishnam upalabhaya chirad abhishtam jat prekshane drishishu pakshmakritam shapanti drigbir ridi kritam alam porirai bhasarvash tad bhavam apur api nitya jujam durapam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Joy Srila Prabhupada. Translation: the gopis saw their beloved Krishna at Kurukshetra after a long separation. They secured and embraced him in their hearts through their eyes. And they attained a joy so intense that not even perfect yogis can attain it. The gopis cursed the Creator for creating eyelids that interfered with their vision. So this text, purport by Srila Prabhupada, this text is from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10.82.39. So these words was actually spoken when Krishna was the king of Dwarka, and one time there was a eclipse, and during eclipse we know that we go to the sacred river and take. So everybody, they went to Kurukshetra, and that news also went to Vrindavan that Krishna, Balaram, they are going to Kurukshetra. So Nanda Maharaj, Mother Yashoda, all the gopis, all the coward boys, they came there, came to Kurukshetra. And there they met Krishna. And there was a very nice pastime there. So we will see about this particular pastime in Kurukshetra, seeing Krishna, what was Radharani's mood. We will see that in Chaitanya Caritāmṛta in the future, in the Madhya Lila most like, Madhya Lila, where Rupa Goswami, he actually he understood Mahaprabhu's bhav, what Mahaprabhu was thinking. Because when Mahaprabhu used to see the Ratha Jatra, he used to chant one mundane poem. And nobody could understand that, but Rupa Goswami only understood. One time he was there during Ratha Jatra and he wrote a very nice poem. We will see that in future. So I'll stop here, Prabhu. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Please add or correct.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. You explained very well. And I was actually looking at this verse also. Srila Prabhupada mentioned 1080 to 39. It's saying, so Sukadeva Goswami is telling that while gazing at the beloved Krishna, the young gopis used to condemn the Creator. The same thing we are seeing here, which would momentarily block their vision of him. Now seeing Krishna again after such a long separation, with their eyes, they took him into their hearts, and there they embraced him to their full satisfaction. In this way, they became totally absorbed in ecstatic meditation on him. Although those who constantly practice mystic yoga find such absorption difficult to achieve. Prabhuji, we can see here, even the great yogis cannot, achieve this kind of ecstatic meditation, but they can, with their love, they can do it. Even for a momentary, they're not unable to withstand with not seeing Krishna. So anybody would like to? Yes,
no, thank you, Prabhu. I think we should read that purport, Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji. It's a very good idea.
Because, should I read it?
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
So we are going to that same verse, and as Prabhuji was mentioning translation, so I'm going to read the purport. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, just then Lord Balaram saw the gopis standing a short distance away. Seeing them trembling with eagerness to meet Krishna and apparently ready to give up their lives if they could not, he tactfully decided to get up and involve himself elsewhere. Then the gopis attained the state described in the current verse. In referring to the gopis' intolerant disrespect of Lord Brahma, the creator of the eyelids, Shukadeva Goswami is giving vent to his own subtle jealousy of the gopis' favored position. Srila Jiva Goswami offers an alternate understanding of the phrase Nitya Jujam, which may mean even of the Lord's principal queens, who tend to be proud of their constant association with him. In Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srila Prabhupada writes, quote, because they had been separated from Krishna for so many years, the gopis, having come along with Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda, felt intense ecstasy in seeing Krishna. No one can even imagine how anxious the gopis were to see Krishna again. As soon as Krishna became visible to them, they took him inside their hearts through their eyes and embraced him to their full satisfaction. Even though they were embracing Krishna only mentally, they became so ecstatic and overwhelmed with joy that for the time being, they completely forgot themselves. The ecstatic trance which they achieved simply by mentally embracing Krishna is impossible to achieve even for great yogis constantly engaged in meditation on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna could understand the gopis were wrapped in ecstasy by embracing him in their minds. And therefore, since he is present in everyone's heart, he also reciprocated the embracing from within. Hare Kṛṣṇa Prabhu. So here Srila Prabhupada is actually giving us a nice meditation that where the gopis were doing that like 24/7, but Prabhupada is saying that that the way that embrace Krishna in their minds, I mean, we can even fraction of a second, we can try to do that or meditate on that, how they love Krishna. Hare Kṛṣṇa Prabhu, back to you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yeah, we can see that how much love gopis have, because seeing them trembling with eagerness to meet Krishna, apparently they are ready to give up their lives if they could not. So this is amazing. So even if we have a little bit of love for Krishna, Krishna mercifully graces us. Thank you. Anybody would like to add anything, please? See Nandini Mataji here and Prabhuji's.
Nice discussion, bro. Please continue.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we can read the next one, 154. Anyone would like to read, please? Baswati Mataji.
Dhanyavad Pranam Prabhuji, Dhanyavad Pranam everyone. Text 154. Krishna bolokon bina netra phal nahiyan. Jai jon Krishna dekhe sei bhagavan. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. There is no consummation for the eyes other than the sight of Krishna. Whoever sees him is most fortunate indeed. So, gopis are, I think gopis are saying here that the eyes, there is no use of these eyes except just seeing Krishna. And Prabhupada, in one of his quote, Prabhupada, Srudhi Prabhuji sent every day Prabhupada's one quote. And I remember Prabhupada was saying like, I can see Krishna, but you have cataracts. So that's why you cannot see Krishna. So come to me, I will remove your cataracts. I will do surgery of your cataracts so that you can see Krishna. So I remember that quote by Prabhupada, and that's where, and here in this text 154, gopis also just they're telling that only seeing Krishna is the use of this in our in the eyes are only used to see Krishna. Back to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Okay, anybody would like to add? Prabhuji, Mataji?
I will read the next one if that's okay.
Okay.
Does anybody want to add anything? Okay, Dandat Pranam devotees, text 155. Akshanavatam phalam idam na param vidalmaha sakhya pashun anuviveshya yattor vayasya shay vaktram vrajesha sutayor anu venu justam yervani pitam anurakta kataksha moksham. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The gopis said, O friends, those eyes that see the beautiful faces of the sons of Maharaj Nanda are certainly fortunate. As these two sons enter the forest, surrounded by their friends, driving the cows before them, they hold their flutes to their mouths and glance lovingly upon the residents of Vrindavan. For those who have eyes, we think there is no greater object of vision. Purport: like the gopis, one can see Krishna continuously if one is fortunate enough. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that the sages whose eyes have been smeared with the ointment of pure love can see the form of Shyamasundara continuously in the centers of their hearts. This text from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10.2, 21.7 was sung by the gopis on the advent of the Sharad season. So Sharad season was, Sharad Purnima was 1.5 months ago. So that time, this text, this is what gopis said, and this Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena. That verse here it is saying, about Brahma Samhita verse, this is referring to. And it's saying that, like the gopis, one can see Krishna continuously if one is fortunate enough. And Srila Prabhupada has really made our fortune. Earlier, there didn't used to be Krishna's temple. We couldn't see Krishna as a deity. And there were 5,000 temples in Vrindavan, but outside Vrindavan, as you go, there were hardly any Krishna temples. There were Ganpati temples, there were Hanuman temple, Shiva temple. But so this Prabhupada has really made our fortune. And, what can be better sight than seeing Krishna and Balram with their cows, with their flutes. They say that we can hear, when our chanting is so pure, then we can a little bit imagine what Krishna's flute, how it must be playing and stuff. So, and here the gopis are unrestrictedly drinking the nectar of seeing Krishna Balram, holding flutes to their mouths and glancing lovingly upon the residents of Vrindavan. So what can be better than that? We think there is no greater object of vision. So, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for conducting the class today. Back to you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Anybody would like to add, please? I think this Prabhupada is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10:21. So I just tried to see. So it's same, pretty much same. The cowherd girl said that, "Oh friends, those eyes that see the beautiful faces of sons of Nanda Maharaj are certainly very fortunate, as these two sons enter the forest surrounded by their friends, driving the cows before them. They hold their flutes to their mouths and glance lovingly upon the residents of Vrindavana. For those who have eyes, we think there is no greater object in vision." So I think it's pretty much same what Mataji explained. Anybody would like to add? Okay, we can read the next one. Anyone would like to write the next verse? 156. Yes, Lakshya.
Yes, Prabhuji. Gopyastapakim acharna yad amusya rupam lavanya sharam asamur davamanai ananya sidam gribya grigbe pihanti anusavibanam durapam ekanta das dama yasasa Śrī Aishwarya. Translation. The woman of Mathura said, "What austerities must the gopis have performed? With their eyes they always drink the nectar of the form of Lord Krishna, which is the essence of loveliness and is not to be equaled or surpassed. That loveliness is the only abode of beauty, fame and opulence. It is self-perfect, ever fresh and extremely rare." Purport. This text from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10.44.14 was spoken by the women of Mathura when they saw Krishna and Balaram in the arena with King Kamsa's great wrestlers, Mustika and Kanura. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol. Would you like to read this translation also, Prabhuji? I think what austerities. Yeah, maybe you can read this one also.
Okay. What austerities must the gopis have performed? With the eyes they always drink the nectar of Lord Krishna's form, which is the essence of loveliness and is not to be equaled or surpassed. That form is the only abode of beauty, fame and opulence. It is the self-perfect and fresh and extremely rare. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, would like to add anything? Prabhuji.
I just thought, like we say, like we know that these verses Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has given us, because we are reading the 1.6. If you remember, the first line was this Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mohima Kidrisho Bana Oiva. So the first we read about the glorification of Radharani's love for Krishna, Sri Radhaya. So Krishna has three desire, internal desire. That was the first one. The second one was Shaidde Janat Adbhuta Madhurima Kidrishava Modiya. What kind of Madhurima I had that Radharani was relishing. So here Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is giving so many examples that he is giving us the glimpse that what are the Krishna's Madhurimas was released by his pure devotees, like gopis, and so many examples he is giving here. So that's my understanding. Prabhu, Hare Krishna, back to you. Please add.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji, rightly said. So we can see that the gopis are very fortunate, and that's what Mathura, women of Mathura are thinking. Like, with their eyes always they are drinking the nectar of the form of Lord Krishna. So they close their eyes, they open their eyes, they sleep, they eat, whatever they do, they're always thinking of Lord Krishna. So that's the beauty of the fame and opulence of Lord Krishna. Thank you. Okay. Anybody would like to add? Okay. 157. Anybody would like to read, please? Vipul Prabhuji. You are in the other corner. Sabrina Mataji, would like to read?
Hare Krishna. Apurva Madhuri Krishnara Apurva Tara Bala Yahara Shravani Mana Haya Talamala. Translation: the sweetness of Lord Krishna is unprecedented, and his strength is also unprecedented. Simply by one's hearing of such beauty, the mind becomes unsteady.
Would like to add anything, Mataji?
No.
Thank you. Thanks for reading, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So here we can see that the sweetness of Lord Krishna is unprecedented. No one has seen or heard or tasted that much of sweetness. And its strength is also unprecedented. Not just the sweetness, but also the strength. Simply by hearing such a beauty, the mind becomes unsteady. So in this material world, we can see that if one has strength, they don't have beauty, or somebody has beauty, they don't have sweetness. We know only Krishna has all the qualities. In fact, 64 qualities. So anybody would like, Prabhuji, you would like to add anything?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu, you mentioned a nice point, 64 qualities, and I was just thinking that all the Vishnu avatars, they have 60 qualities, even Lord Ram. But 4 qualities very specific for Krishna. That is, one is the Rupa Madhuri. Here, Krishna's beauty. Then one is Lila Madhuri, his pastimes were really, you cannot compare with. And Venu Madhuri, the flute, and Prema Madhuri is his loving pastimes. So those are like extra 4, which only Krishna has, and none of the other Vishnu incarnations. They don't have that. Krishna Prabhu, back to you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, the next verse. 158. Ekant Prabhuji, would you like to read?
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Krishnera madhurye Krishne upasya loba samyak aswadite nare mane rahe kshoba. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrī Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Krishna's own beauty attracts Lord Krishna himself, but because he can't fully enjoy it, his mind remains full of sorrow. Thank you, Prabhu. Back to you.
Like to add anything, Prabhuji?
No, Prabhuji. It's very difficult to understand that.
So we have Prabhuji and Nandini Mataji to help us. Yes. Prabhuji or Mataji, please add anything.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, please.
Prabhuji says 4 qualities of Krishna. So one is Rupa Madhuri, Benu Madhuri, Lila Madhuri, and then what is the 4th one?
Prema Madhuri.
Prema.
Renu.
Prema
Prema.
Madhuri.
Prema.
Prema Madhuri. Oh, okay.
So
Mataji,
Lila Madhuri means Rasa Lila or the pastimes of Krishna. Prema Madhuri actually refers to he is surrounded by devotee who possesses incomparable Madhurya Prema, which develops up to the stage of Mahabhava, is the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Rupa Goswami's translation of Prema Madhuri. I hope that helps, Mataji.
Okay, yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, you were saying something?
No, I was saying that I was just about to say that those are mentioned in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. All these 64 qualities are explained there. So that's what I was saying. Yes, thank you, Mataji. You brought that.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Okay, so we can read a couple of more things.
Prabhuji, also
Yes,
have a question. Like, why Krishna's mind remains full of sorrow? It's like how can you explain that? Like Krishna is always Bhoktaram, always he is joyful. So why it says his mind remains full of sorrow?
I will let Prabhuji.
My understanding is, it says it is transcendental sorrowness. I mean, see, Krishna is Atmaram. But if we look at the all the pastimes, if you remember, it started in the 7th canto where Narad Muni was explaining to Yudhishthir Maharaj, when Maharaj Yudhishthir asked, how come Shishupal was blaspheming Krishna so much, and then he went, he entered into Krishna. And then Narad Muni started. And there is a book written by His Holiness Gaur Govinda Maharaj. It's called Bank of Separation. So in that it says that Krishna, we know that Krishna has 6 Oishadjas, He has Sharabhida Oishadjas, like he has a strength, Bija, Oishadja, he has wealth. Then he has like Vairagya, renunciation. He has an intelligence, Gyan, and he has a Śrī, he is very beautiful. And he has a fame, Josh. So one of them is Birja, means he wanted to fight. So who is going to be comparable to Krishna? So Jogamaya created that situation. Joy Bijoy, there was a little discussion with, they had an argument with the Char Kumar, the 4 Kumaras. And that's how they came. Actually, 4 Kumaras told them that you will be against Lord in 3 lifetimes. You have to be staying in the material world, Mortaloka. You will be an enemy of the Lord. So they accepted that, because other option was 7th lifetime they have to be in the Mortaloka. They didn't want to stay that long. And when Hiranyakashipu killed, Nrsimhadev killed Hiranyakashipu, he was so angry. I mean, if we remember, we read that. And nobody was even dared to go in front of me. Even Mother Lakshmi, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma. But Prahlad Maharaj, he went, and Hiranyakashipu was pacified by seeing him. And when he took Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad Maharaj, Nrsimhadev took Prahlad Maharaj in his lap, he saw the joy in his face. And after that, he thought, oh, I have to enjoy that, release that feeling as being a son. being a child of parents. And after that, he came as Vamandev. His parents were Kashyapa Muni and Aditi. Then, when he came as a Ram, he has a beauty, but he was Ekpotnidhar. He has the wife, and he had friend. He had his parents, but all these things there was some kind of designation there. Like Bibhishan, Sugriv, Guhak, they were friends, but they were friends with him as awe and reverence. They offered everything to him, but they couldn't tell him that, oh, let me take it first and then I'm offering it to you. Let me eat it and see whether it is good for you to eat or not, and then give the half. So Lord has the desire, know that this friendship, or like Mother Kaushalya or Mother Koiki or Sumitra, they didn't tell Ram that, Ram, don't do that, you are naughty boy. They didn't say, they never said like that. So everything there was a mixture of awe and reverence. And then Sita Devi's love for Krishna, there was a reason, because there was a upadhi there. Upadhi is designation. The Sita Devi is Krishna's wife, so she has to love. And she has to show the whole world that, if you remember, when Hanuman told Mother Sita that I can take you, she said, no, Hanuman, I am not even scared of that. Ravan cannot do anything. My only fear is that if I don't remember Lord. Every moment I am remembering Lord Ram. So let him come and save me. So there it was not like, it was not a spontaneous there. Like Sugriv, Guhak, they offered everything, but it was not spontaneous. Because they knew that Ram was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Lord has the desire. So then in Krishna Lila, then Sudam, in Vrindavan, the coward boys, they will eat something, half of the fruit, and they will say, Krishna, this fruit is very nice. Let's eat that. So they will give the heart. Can we do that or not? So, and then Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, even Krishna's pastime, if you look at the Vrindavan pastimes, and then next, Mathura and Dwaraka pastimes. Dwaraka and Mathura pastimes, they were all with awe and reverence. Except some occasion like Satyabhama, but most all the 16,108 wife, they were serving Krishna with awe and reverence. But Vrindavan was different. Like same with Mother Yashoda and Devaki and Vasudev, the serving was different. And same with like the friends, like Krishna's friends in Uddhav Maharaj in Vrindavan, Mathura or Dwaraka, and the other friends in Vrindavan. It's the difference. So can we say like that Krishna? But see, Lord has the desire. He can desire anything. And so the same concept here, that Krishna saw his beauty and he is thinking that his sorrow is mainly because how Radharani is enjoying his beauty, and he had the desire, oh, if I can be a devotee and if I can enjoy that. So that's why he came as a devotee, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because the desires are not fulfilled. If you look at that 1.6 verse, last line, that verse was written by Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami. He said that Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mohima Kidisha Banoyoiva. Shaidde jana adbhuta madhurima kidrishyam modiyo. Shoikhang chaisya madanudbhavata kidrishyam beti lobhat. Lobhat. The Lord has the lob. Lob means greedy. As a lob, when you hear that word greedy, it is kind of like not a good shastric word. But Lord had that, and he used that term. Tadbhavadya samajani shochi garba sindhu. That's why he appeared in the shochi garba sindhu harindu. So here his sorrowness is different. It's not like our sorrowness. That it's not like, oh, we didn't get that one, that's what I am sorry. It's not that kind of sorrowness. That's my understanding. Sorry, it took so much time. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Nandini Mataji, please add or correct.
Hare Krishna. No, thank you so much. But without that sorrow, Lord Chaitanya wouldn't appear.
Yes.
So we are actually grateful that, there's little lamentation. Otherwise, how can we have Lord Chaitanya?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, very wonderful answer. Yeah. So as Prabhuji said, Mataji said, transcendental sorrow. So, yeah, as Nandini Mataji said, if the sorrow was not there, we would not have seen the most merciful Lord. And he was just with, in this planet, in the same, like Krishna was there 5,000 years ago, and Gauranga was there just 500 years ago. And Prabhupada was there just 50 years ago. So we are very, very fortunate. Thank you. Okay, I think we can read one more verse. See what you would like to read. Baswati Mataji, would you like to read?
Dandavat Pranam, everyone. Text 159. এই তো দ্বিতীয় হেতুর কহিল বিবরণ, তৃতীয় হেতুর এবে শুনহ লক্ষণ. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Am I reading? Okay, yeah, sorry. Yes. Prabhupada ki jai. This is a description of his second desire. Now please listen as I describe the third. So here Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is already described the second desire of Lord Krishna. First one is Radharani, to understand the Radharani's Biraho, the Ashray Bhav. And then the second desire is that the full of sorrow what Krishna has. And now Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami will tell about the third desire. Back to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So maybe we can read the third desire also. Right, Prabhuji. Anybody would like to read? 160.
If we're taking second turn, I can read.
Sure, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Atyanta niguda ei rase rasiddhanta sarupa gosai matra jane naikanta. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This conclusion of rasa is extremely deep. Only Sarup Damodar knows much about it. So as we know, Sarup Damodar Prabhu used to be with Lord Chaitanya most of the time in Puri. And he is the one who wrote down many of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, and which eventually came to, this is what eventually led to Chaitanya-caritāmṛta. And then I believe it went to Rupa Goswami, and then from Rupa Goswami or Jiva Goswami. I think it went to Jiva Goswami and then to Krishnadas Kaviraj. And on the banks of Radhakund, many these were read and then written, finally came into form of Lord, in the form of Chaitanya Caritāmṛta. Back to you, Prabhupada. Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Prabhu, is that right? Jiva Goswami, no? After Sarup Damodar.
No, Mataji, actually,
Diaries.
Swarup Damodar, he gave his diary to Raghunath Das Goswami. You remember
Oh yes,
Raghunath Das?
Raghunath Das Goswami, yes.
And
then
yeah,
from Raghunath Das Goswami and to Krishna Das Kaviraj.
yeah.
Like to add anything else, Prabhuji? Before we wrap, pause for today.
Here we can see Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is showing his gratitude to Swarup Damodar Goswami. He says, Swarup Gosai matra janen ekanto. He only Swarup Damodar Goswami knows. So that's so nice. I mean, you can see so many learning points here. Like he's showing his gratitude.
Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji. Anybody else would like to add anything? Okay. We'll pause for today and we'll continue tomorrow with Prabhuji. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Jai.
Bhāgavatam.
Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev vacha. Patitanam pavanabhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namaha. Śrīla Prabhupada ki Hare Kṛṣṇa. Dandavat. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna.